Well, hi there, I'm Noah Bradley. This is Handmade House TV. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about a method to make your home so much more attractive, about creating props. So stay tuned. Well, all right, today we're going to talk about a way to make your home more attractive, to make it more appealing. And one of the ways that I encourage you to design and create your own home, this is one of the many keys within the Handmade House Academy course I offer, is to do your best when designing your home is to create images of what it's going to look like, to get yourself a good inventory of photographs of houses that you like, and when you're drawing your own plans, to create plenty of visual drawings of elevations of what the exterior of your home is going to look like. That you want it to be attractive, but nonetheless, in creating drawings, and even using photographs, when you walk out to your piece of land, when you're actually creating your home, you want to make sure that it lives up to its greatest potential as you're building it. And one of the flaws in our current building model of new construction is that plans are drawn on computers. They are handed to contractors, and then contractors do their absolute best to build the home as fast as what they possibly can. And there's no thought, there's no consideration, no reconsideration as a home is built, whether or not it's living up to its aesthetic appeal as it is being built. And one of the ways of building a home, let's say you're building a home and it's time to put the dormers on top of the roof, and or it's time to locate the windows on the house, and that we have drawings of where they go, and so we go ahead and we can build these dormers on top of the roof. And then if we're thoughtful builders as we're going along and we want to make our home as attractive as possible, we'll stand out in the yard, we'll walk around and see whether or not they're as attractive in real life as what they were on the piece of paper. And from my own confessed career is that sometimes the real life 3D structure that I'm walking around doesn't look quite as attractive as what it was in the drawing. That perhaps those dormers or windows needed to be a foot further apart from each other, or a foot further up to the ridge, or a foot lower to the ridge. A little bit of adjustment really helps. And again, as I reveal, one of the many secrets within the Handmade House Academy is that rather than building a dormer, or rather than installing a window and then having to go to the trouble of moving it around, which is an expensive process, I will build props. I will build models, and then to move them around, of whether or not it's out of cardboard, or it's plywood, or it's styrofoam. And then I can quickly assemble something like this. It takes me an hour worth of time tops, and then I'll move it around to make sure that it is exactly where I want it to be. The option is, if you don't do this, then you're going to end up with a home that's less appealing than what it could be. And the only thing, and it's a shame, because you didn't need to do that. With a little bit of effort, with a little bit of creating a prop, you can make it so much better. And I kind of always thought this was my own quirk. This was my own invention, that no one had ever thought of this before. I'd never seen anyone do it prior to that. None of the builders that I had worked with or associated with ever did such a technique. But it was interesting. I was riding down the local highway here recently, and they're putting in a multi-million-dollar, many million-dollar new development with 1,000 homes and hotels and commercial space. And out front were these two monoliths. The one on the right, definitely different than the one on the left, all made out of some kind of wafer chipboard, and clearly these are not the permanent structures that will greet people as they pull into the entrance, but these are two different versions of what was created probably by the architectural team. But before they were actually commissioned, before they were actually built, they went to the trouble of building scale models to put into place so that people could walk around and get a good visualization of what's going on there. So I applaud these individuals that went to the trouble of doing this, and very likely I will be seeing one of these permanent structures not too distant in the future. Now, this technique doesn't need to be done just for the exterior of your home. When you are designing and building your home, you do not start with a floor plan. You start with your elevations, how your home looks attractive. And then I'll find that a lot of people will spend an intense amount of time trying to figure out the exact layout of the rooms within the home, of where every faucet, where every bathroom fixture goes. Clearly it's an important step to figure out the layout of your home, but my recommendation is to not get too carried away or too involved in this process, and to leave yourself open to the possibility that I'm not certain if I've ever built a house where the inside wasn't rearranged once I had the exterior of the house framed up, and that my clients or my wife would have the empowerment to start walking through the space, of getting a visualization of what it's like in reality. And suddenly I found partitions starting to move around, and layouts of the kitchen being rearranged. And so a lot of times when I'm designing a home, we won't even get too involved in the layout, particularly of the kitchen itself, and that we'll spend some time once the room is actually created, and we'll work with the initial concepts of what we had, and we will create scale models out of plywood, cardboard, or styrofoam, where you can actually get a good feel for it. You can walk around, you can touch it, you can see exactly how the room feels and functions, and you end up with a much higher quality. When I've listed houses for sale, or when clients of mine have sold homes that they have built, I'm constantly hearing feedback from real estate agents that not only is the exterior of the home breathtakingly beautiful, the homes sell quickly, but also that I've been told by a lot of these individuals that the kitchens are the most dynamic, or the most functional, or the most cook-friendly kitchens that they have ever experienced. And that's the secret behind that, is to create props, to create 3D structures, temporary structures that you can get a good visualization from before you move forward in the actual creation of the object itself, the home itself, and locating all the features of it in place. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this. You should have. You'll end up with a much better home if you follow these simple instructions of paying attention as your home goes, of being fluid, of being able to see your home as it's being built, and make changes even before things actually go permanently in place. It will give you a much nicer home. Anyway, you guys take care. Please consider enrolling in the Handmade House Guild. I spend hours and hours, I think there's over 40 hours worth of additional content there, where I share step by step the process of creating a handmade home, of designing and factoring in how to make your home as attractive and beautiful as what you can, and functional. There's the Log Cabin Academy, where if you're interested in having even part of your home as log, I go step by step through the process of getting you the best log cabin imaginable. I'm in the process of creating the Timber Framing Academy right now. One of the academies that hasn't achieved as much respect and attention as what it should have, and I guess I haven't been talking about it enough, is the Stonemason Academy. If you want any kind of home you want is better with stone. But the glued-on fake faux stuff just is not it, and I reveal in the Stonemason Academy how you can achieve the best stonework possible on your home. Anyway, you guys take care. I would like to thank 5 new members of the Handmade House Guild before we go. They are Joseph Leffingwell, Mark and Lynette St. Pierre, Adam Kennedy, Anthony Tynan, and Terry Kreft. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your questions. And we'll look forward to seeing you here next week on Handmade House TV. Until then, bye now.